And we are getting on into this game between the green team of EDDA and the red team of PAF. And the green team of EDDA are going to be running Montana, Kremlin, Des Moines, Napoli, Moscow, Stalingrad, Daring, and Ragnar. What do we got for PAF?
And PAF are bringing Montana, Kremlin, Des Moines, Salem, Venezia, Nevsky, Stalingrad, Girion, and Shimakaze.
2 DVs each. Relatively low for this
I'm
kind of map.
surprised for Shatter.
Yeah. Shatter's a very interesting map, especially with this cap layout. I've never seen this cap layout. Like, I haven't seen any games on this. I did like one scrim on it, and like I've been told never ever talk about the scrims because it's bad form, so I'm not going to talk about it. So this new cap layout, like, it's a lot different than the previous versions that we used to play. The previous versions would have the A cap like here, just a little bit right of where it is. C cap was like entirely enclosed within this island. Now it's like in between these things. B cap pretty much standard for what we're used to. So yeah. Interesting to see. I have seen quite a bit of Guden gameplay on this. I'm quite disappointed that we're not seeing any currently, but that's cool.
Honestly, I am devastated that we've got no Howdens in this match.
I haven't seen a single Guden all tournament.
I think in Spring Championship we ran 2 on this map.
Yeah.
And just put them both in B and just laughed as airdrops landed on the contesting cruiser as it screamed in pain.
Yeah, like this map is such a good one for Gudens. Anyway, initial deployments over the A cap. We're going to be sending this Ragnar, who's popping a speed boost early. I am not a fan of the early engine boost on Ragnar. I prefer to save that for like dodging and farming. Followed by 2 Moscows and a Kremlin. B is going to be Daring and Stalingrad. C cap is going to be Des Moines, Napoli, and Montana.
So PAF are sending a Stalingrad, Nevsky, and maybe a Salem to A. It looks like the Salem and Girion have actually just turned off towards B.
Yeah.
So they're going for the early B cap with a Girion and ignoring A for the cap. There is a Montana drifting to that half of the map as well.
Smoking already?
C, we have a Shimakaze, Des Moines, Venezia, and Kremlin. And that is a very early smoke from that.
That is a very, very early smoke.
So it looks like they're smoking it into the island there to overwatch A, and they just don't want it to get early spotted.
By what?
By the Daring that's currently going B, I suppose.
But you would know well in advance, like,
so
that there's something in that cap.
So I think, going by memory, are PAF not the team that we watched get a Des Moines and Salem nuked on Sleeping Giant?
Maybe.
I think they learned a lesson. They might be overcautious this time, but I think they learned from yesterday.
Mm.
The smoke screen doesn't quite reach the island, but it gets the... They are learning yesterday's lessons, I would say.
Let's have a look. Is the Daring running like... Daring is running leg mod. The Daring is running rudder mod and reload gun. Yeah. Leg mod gearing's not that unusual.
Oh, I thought you said Daring.
Gearing. Look, it sounds... I might have said Daring, honestly. I might have. I don't know anymore.
I was about to say, taking a leg mod Daring is like taking a Daring and then cutting the useful half of the ship off.
Yeah, there's a lot of rudder mod gameplay going on. I'm really not a fan. I put engine mod on, like, everything. Stalingrad with Damacon, I don't understand, though.
Yeah, Montana has early shots out towards the red Montana has early shots out towards the green Moskva.
Yeah.
I think the Moskva will be fine.
It's a Moskva.
Eat my words. It is entirely fine.
Not even a scratch. Not even adrenaline rush activated.
The Shimakaze is bowing at sea and is about to be radared by a Des Moines.
That's gonna hurt. Like, a lot.
Yes. There's the radar.
Yes. Okay. So you're now broadside at this Des Moines. You've dumped your torps on them. They're not widespread. That's a good start. Do we know whether this man is a 20-kilometer enjoyer?
There is a Napoli. Yeah, and the Napoli introduces himself.
All right, well, the Shimakaze has discovered Des Moines hurts, Napoli hurts, and instead of running in a straight line perpendicular to the Des Moines to get out of the radar faster, he's decided that he's going to keep wiggling as much as possible. I don't agree with this. Has he still got his... He doesn't have his Damacon. He's already burned his Damacon. You want to hold that for as long as possible. In fact, he's just going to eat the entire duration of the Des Moines radar. Jeez, that's pretty painful.
That's painful. He gets away with it, but do the torps catch anything on the Des Moines?
Nah, he's dodged all of those. I mean, they were perfectly aimed at his bow, so...
Yeah, and this is the problem. This is why I am an advocate for, if you're a destroyer in the King of the Sea or any competitive mode and you go towards a cap, you put your butt in the cap first.
Yeah. Speaking of butts and caps, Gearing has decided to go bow into a cap and is now like reversing out of it after being chunked for half of his HP because the Ragnar raided him. I say half, it's like an eighth.
Yeah, but he's got a Moskva that can see him now.
And a Stalingrad.
And the Stalingrad, yeah, that's dangerous. So I was curious how the ACAP would develop, and apparently that island has baited 2 teams into island diving in the cap. Like crashing the
Yeah.
island is not what I would do personally.
I mean, you could I'm just looking, right? You could use a Vampire Deuce, Vampire 2, like, parked up against this rock here. It's very risky, but it would just fit, and for anything to get around on you, they'd have to commit quite far down the one line, which you
Yes.
could hold off. That's from South Spawn. From North Spawn, you kind of got the same thing, like that Ragnar position. It's usable, but if something walks around that corner, that Ragnar's dead. There's no escape.
My thing about this is that if you're a destroyer in a cap, you don't want to get stuck in that position. You are still your team's eyes. You still need to be able to move around and reposition to get spots on things and maybe even catch things. And I crashing an island in the middle of a cap where you can't escape is the exact opposite of that. We do have the red sailing walking up to B now that B's empty.
I mean, you say empty, there is still a Montana with shots on it, a Kremlin we're going to be walking down onto it. Like, that's...
That Salem, if it is intending to go for the cap and not beach there where it has, it needs to be careful that it doesn't just get radared by that Stalingrad and die to Montana.
Moskva in the background there last took some big hits, so did Rex. I'm not sure if that's just like Nevsky farming on them or Montana or what, but both Moskva's been chunked.
The PAF Stalingrad has taken a lot of damage and has decided it doesn't want to stay there anymore. That's a fair choice, I think.
Venezia decides he wants to walk past that Des Moines face first. I want to have a look at this Venezia's build, actually, because that's No, he's run concealment expert. He's not running heavy AP. He's just got that bad concealment. Holy crap. How's he spotted there? Was that just daring spotting? He's not that
I think so.
point.
Well, it's 12 something, is it not? 12-6 or something with concealment build.
Yeah, and the Des Moines is like 15, so that's why I was confused.
It must have just been the daring before it left. The Kremlin's walking up as well. Now, the Kremlin's quite a dangerous prospect here for the Des Moines. I imagine that's part of the reason why the Des Moines has reversed so much already.
That Napoli is like out on the map board. It's like, I'm over here now.
Salem at B has fired off a radar, maybe to check the cap out and see if it's safe. He's not found anything.
He's found the Kremlin.
I suppose he's found the Kremlin, yeah.
He's decided, actually, no, he hasn't decided that's not safe. He's continuing. Well, sir, I wish you the best of luck in your adventure through BCAP. Let us know how that goes.
If the Montana doesn't fire now, he's safe from Montana shots.
Well, he's spotted. He's radared. He's heavily radared. The Kremlin knows where he is. The Montana knows where he is.
Montana can't shoot him because of the big islands in the north of B, because he's already advanced to the other side of B. Bold.
I'm not sure what the Salem's plan is yet. Look at this current Venn diagram of death of radars. There's like radars everywhere right now.
Yeah, that Kremlin's going to come out. If the Salem starts firing AP, it'll get good chunks in the Kremlin, but the Kremlin can just one-shot him through the bow. So there is... The Stalingrad is coming up behind the Salem, though. That might be a slight surprise unless that Kremlin gets itself bow in time.
Well, the Des Moines here should have like his rare gun on this broadside Salem, but he's just not interested. Like, the Des Moines has zero interest. The Des Moines is much more concerned about the Kremlin in his face. It's like, no... Okay, this...
Maybe that needs to be the green shot caller just needs to be shouting right now, to hell with that Kremlin. You've got a target behind you that you can one-shot.
We have 2 Des Moines class cruisers with like Kremlins in their faces currently.
Yeah, well, so far the Salem is winning.
Salem, go for the round.
That might have just ended. Yes. Oh. And that's the power of Overmatch.
He's winning, by the way.
He was winning
until he wasn't.
Until he rapidly disassembled. The Red Kremlin in C has eaten 2 daring torps so far and is being chunked by the Des Moines AP.
Yeah, which he's turned away from
very soon.
He turned away from it. If he'd continued forward on it, he'd be what? Giving... No, he'd be fine.
He would have given fight to a Napoli, and that's fine.
A Napoli at that range?
Yeah, Kremlin has that rounded belt, which trolls just about everything that fires at it at long range. Yeah. So I think that's quite a heavy mistake there on the Red Kremlin.
Yeah, he could have just rolled over the front of that Des Moines while bow tanking in the Montana, and then he could have probably actually like gone on to ram the Montana. He might have had to worry about like, you know, daring torpedoes at some point, but he's got Des Moines, Venezia, Shimakaze behind him. Those should be in front of him. Like, that Des Moines has just held off this push completely. Kremlin turning out has meant that this push is hard stalled.
At A, we've just had an absolute melee breakout. Nevsky, Kirin, and Montana charged the Ragnar down. murdered it in its sleep, and now they're going for the Moskva. That's that was a sudden development there.
Yes. I'm also looking at the developing Kremlin situation in the middle of B.
Yeah, the Kremlin that's just sort of walking through B. Is Stalingrad going to push out on it? Please, no. That Stalingrad's going. The Imperator Infinity has decided that the best way to deal with the Stalingrad is death.
Well, the problem is the Kremlin went behind the island, so he doesn't have the shot on the broadside that's just presented itself to him.
But it doesn't
the
matter because
Kremlin-
Stalingrad's
Stalingrad's still
turning
going.
circle is so bad. That
Okay.
was not the right move.
No, he might still be able. No, he can't even get the ram off. Can he get?
No,
the turning circle's too
Stalingrad
bad.
does not have the turning circle for that at all. That is.
Is he
it
gonna
is
get the
not
drive-by off? No, Stalin's not. No. Okay, that was a lot.
The Stalingrad.
That had no right to. Okay, no, there was no right for that much
Stalin
damage.
had no right to get that damage, but it did still die. It did not get the Kremlin kill. Kremlin is healing, and now Red Team, despite having taken A, they're about to lose that Nevsky they've pushed in there, and the Montana Girin are going to be on their own.
What's
This
with all
is
these
not looking
bow
good.
tanking Nevskys? I will never understand the bow tanking Nevskys. Okay, Montana just goes straight to the front of that Moskva. This Moskva's still alive. 1,000 HP on the Nevsky. Heal ready in 7 seconds. If this Salvo... Okay, the Salvo kills him.
The Red Des Moines from C is desperately trying to help with the Kremlin situation.
There are situations. This Montana's about to try and walk over the face of that Moskva. The Kremlin are currently trying to come up its arse. There's a fucking Gearing trying to torpedo the Kremlin that's on its way to have the... Oh, there are situations developing.
I will say, the Green Team haven't pushed their advantage at sea yet. There is not a single ship to stop them now. And they're all just staring at a red cap. If you're the Green Team, you need to be following... You need to recognize that the Red Team has left, and you should probably follow them.
Yeah. Kremlin takes
they're going to
torpedo.
lose their Kremlin.
Hearing
lose that
open water
Kremlin?
gun boating.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, yeah, I would at that point.
Moskva, do something. Moskva, do something.
Yeah, because if that Kremlin dies and the Moskva dies and they do not get the Girin or the Kremlin, the Girin or the Montana, it kind of evens up again.
Well, the Moskva's
although the
decided
Montana does
that
nothing.
he's shooting AT at the broadside, Montana.
The Montana fired AP at the Kremlin and got exactly 0 damage, so that was on its own an impressive feat. And the Kremlin is about to get healed, so that opportunity is quickly slipping away.
So after that Moskva had reversed all the way to the island, he's now decided that the appropriate solution, once he can no longer reverse, is to go full speed. The Montana cell was still going at the Kremlin, still doing nothing. Moskva's going for the ram or the drive-by. I don't know. What's he going for? Another salvo. Kremlin's still alive.
Yeah,
Now the
Kremlin's
Moskva's going
healing
to
through
at the
this.
turret. Moskva versus Montana. Wait, what's your play here? What's your play here? Moskva, Montana doesn't have his turrets turned. Moskva, you can drive by this man.
Moskva's going for the ram.
He's a drive. You can drive by that. At least he had flags. Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
so,
so now
so that said, that ram is better for green than it is for red because PAF are already behind on ships, and there's a full health Daring walking into B, where there's a 7,000 health Shimmer, and PAF aren't in a position to defend any of the caps they currently hold, really. Although that Game's still desperately trying to finish the job on that Gremlin.
Honestly, I would gunboat this.
Yeah, I would. And
He still has 3 Damagons left.
I mean, at this point, you just start flinging AP into the superstructure.
Yeah.
You don't need the fires. You don't rely on fires to kill the Kremlin. You rely on just actual damage, just outright damage. Because rapid cooldown on the damage controls and whatnot. It's awful.
Let's see what his plan is here. He's not opening up yet. He's just going to try and top him. He's taking the safe approach. It might take a while. I don't even think he gets killed. Like, we'll find out if he gets top in the background. But meanwhile, we have
he does because the Kremlin has stopped in front of those torps.
Yes, well, Des
Kremlin
Moines is currently radaring the Shimakaze, so this is much. Right, you can watch the Kremlin die in the background while the Shimakaze frantically dodges. He's currently caught in the radar range. The points have now flipped. 4 minutes till the green team wins. Shimakaze gets out of radar range. Daring shell still coming in. Another radar comes out from the Stalingrad of Mr. Floppy. Mr. Floppy?
We do have shots out from the Des Moines and the Montana on that Shimakaze. And unfortunately for PAF, they need to be in a cap at this point.
Right, let's see what Shimmer's dodging maneuvers. He's going with the wiggle strats. He's going with the wiggle build. Does he have dazzle? He doesn't have dazzle. Just checking. Is he gonna hit the brakes, or is he gonna continue hitting W and S? I'm a brake man. I like to hit the brakes a lot.
I do love to just, someone radars you, you just don't move. Because they're like, he's gonna run away, I'm gonna fire in front, and then the shots just go over your head. There's a feeling of power when a radar ship just misestimates the shot on you so badly.
Right.
I'm not sure that can you see a way for PAF?
Yes, I can see this gearing torpedoing that daring. That's the only play I can see.
Yeah.
Des Moines needs to get back. If Des Moines gets somehow back to defend this, they can retake B, but it's going to be a long time coming. They have 3 minutes to get on this. No, they need to kill. They need to kill. What can they kill? The only kills available... No, they need to both kill the daring and cap B.
Yeah. And I think, thinking back to yesterday, I think we casted, was it EDDA versus Adria? Because I know we've seen both of these teams. And I think it was EDDA versus Adria, and EDDA, did a... I remember EDDA doing well yesterday and PAF having a bit of a rough start. So I think that's just showing, that's just continuing here, right? Although PAF, they've brought it to a game 3 for what is their first COTS. And they kept this competitive up until about now. Where it's looking a lot less competitive and a lot more rough for them. So they've done well to this point. I just don't see a way for them to get back into this.
I want to point out as well, this gearing caught in this fight with his daring, once again, not running superintendent and running out of smoke screens, which would have been really handy right about now for him. The daring, though, has missed quite a lot of salvos here.
But the Des Moines for PAF is just sailing
away.
west.
Yeah. He needs to get in. He needs to do something. He needs to help in this gunfight. He needs to get closer. Gearing gets unspotted.
I don't know if you're watching B, but you're about to see a murder.
Yeah.
I don't think that Shima has any clue. I don't think it's remotely aware that it's about to just...
Well, the Des Moines has no radars left. The Stalingrad does. Hydro is ready for the Des Moines. Shimakaze, I wish you the best of luck.
Already looking. The Des Moines
he's spotting the Hydro. He's spotting the Hydro. Here we go. And Red Des Moines still not interested. He's turned in now, but it's far too late. Same with the Venezia. He's far too late. Is that a fighter plane? Venezia can use spotter plane, right?
Yes.
Let's not ask questions.
Oh dear.
Right, so
I think someone made a loopsie with their controls. Shima gets his torps off.
He does.
Des Moines? That's bad for you.
Yep, that's painful. Okay, cool. He got the trade at least. That's more than we expected.
And that's a positive trade for them because cruisers are worth very, very slightly more than destroyers in the points, but
are they?
They've got 90 seconds. They need another kill.
60 points
right now.
They both were 60 points. So.
Are they both?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right. So Des Moines has his radar running. It's not helping. He knows where the daring is. Okay, right. So Des Moines, you need to make a hero play right now. You need to go balls deep into the B cap, do something. Don't care what it is. You need to kill something. I wish you the best of luck, sir. Detonate the daring, or drive by the Stalingrad.
Because it's got less than a minute.
You need to go, sir. We all wish you the best of luck. We salute you.
Have a radar ready? No. Des Moines has no radar.
He just used it on the daring. He's got his Hydra running.
Yeah,
Are these gearing torpedoes actually a threat? They might be a threat. If the Des Moines forces this daring back, the cross shots come in from the Montana on the side of the Des Moines. This might be him.
Well, he lives, but there's the daring. This daring does like its single fire.
It does.
I've seen a lot of odd groups coming from 3s and 2s. And to be fair, it's an unexpected strategy, so you will probably land unexpected torp hits because people see some torps go past and they think that's it.
15 seconds, he's not going to get anything.
No, and even if he did, there is only 25 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah.
So either way, that's it.
Montana salvo! Oh, I didn't even get the Montana salvo to land. Congratulations to EDDA, I believe. Yeah, EDDA are going to go 2-1 in this series and advance, and I think that should bring us right about ready to,
As the room is open.
Oh, wonderful.
We are looking for someone, but I think that's someone but with zero. I hate fonts.
Oh, is he one of those people who likes to have one of those aesthetic looking names and like really nah?
It's S0M.
No, not co-op battle training room, please. So who the hell are we casting, Jurek? G-Watt versus Acero.